The time is 9 o'clock and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hello and happy Monday. This is Clinton Davis with your local CHMA News. Well, last Thursday, members of Tantramar Council met for a special 1-hour meeting focused on looking ahead. Councillors Alison Butcher, Kristen LeBlanc, Tori Weldon, and Josh Gauguin sent their regrets for the meeting. Before discussing its vision for the next 4 years, Council first considered a request from the UMNB, that's the Union of Municipalities of New Brunswick. The organization, which represents New Brunswick's 103 municipalities, is asking councils whether municipalities should have the authority to tax vacant, privately owned land to encourage development. Discussion quickly turned into what kinds of land such a levy might affect. Mayor Debbie Wiggins-Caldwell pointed to large underdeveloped properties, including the CSC lands, as examples of land that could eventually support housing. CSC is Crane Services Canada, whom, according to Council, have hundreds of acres of undeveloped land within the Tantramar area. Wiggins-Caldwell pointed to that as land that could eventually support housing. Staff also discussed how any future bylaw could exempt farmland, parkland, and other types of property if Council chose to do so. Because councillors expressed differing views, Barry Hicks strongly opposed the idea, saying that people shouldn't be forced to develop their land through higher taxes. Wayne Wells agreed, saying landowners should be free to keep vacant property for 200 years if they chose. Mayor Wiggins-Caldwell said she saw the proposal as a tool that could encourage development in populated areas, while Alyssa Green stopped short of taking a position, saying she'd like to see research from other municipalities and hear from residents before council makes any decision. And no decision was made. With that discussion complete, Wiggins-Caldwell opened the floor to councillors, inviting them to outline what they'd like to see council accomplish over the next 4 years. A priority raised came from Councillor Barry Hicks, who said replacing the Pescodiac Bridge should remain one of Council's biggest advocacy efforts.
I'd like to see us really push for that Pesco Bridge, push the government to try to get that done. I know we're pushing for the Wheaton Bridge, but that Pesco Bridge, there's no other way around that bridge. Anybody in Lower Rockport are in trouble if the fire gets going down there.
Housing was another focus. Councillor Haydee Robertson suggested Council first identify what municipally owned land could eventually be used for development, including affordable housing.
There are nonprofit groups that have been asking for a listing of available land, and perhaps the town, is interested in offering that land up for low-income housing.
Beale told Council staff can prepare that inventory, while Plan 360 is already developing a municipal land bank. Mayor Debbie Wiggins-Caldwell also outlined several areas she'd like to see reflected in Council's long-term vision.
Another thing I'd like to touch on too is an age-friendly community.
In addition to the community, Wiggins-Caldwell also touched on tourism and heritage, infrastructure, climate adaptation, and community well-being. Alyssa Green focused on how Council itself operates. She said she'd like new councillors to have better access to municipal information and proposed creating an accessibility committee. Public safety came up during the discussion. Wayne Wells called for a stronger police presence in Tantramar's urban areas, while Wiggins-Caldwell agreed.
I'd like to see better policing in the urban areas.
Thank you, Councillor Wells. I've also heard that when I was campaigning in the rural areas out towards your area. A lot of that they would like to see a police car once a week even drive up. So I don't think that's a big ask and could be an easy fix.
In the end, Hicks also encouraged staff to continue pursuing outside funding wherever possible.
I think it's very important that staff keeps on top of these grants. There appears to be lots of money out there for grants. Every time we go to UMNB or something, they bring up something else that's out for money. So I feel it's very important that we get as much as we can get to fix up everything we can.
No decisions were made during Thursday's strategic discussion, but the ideas raised are expected to help shape Council's priorities over its current 4-year term. What's your opinion? Do we need more policing in rural areas? Should Council start taxing vacant landowners to encourage development? Hit us up on Instagram or email us at news@chmafm.com. Council meets again tomorrow night for its final regular meeting before breaking for the summer. That's it for today. With your local CHMA news, I'm Clinton Davis.
Hi, I'm Ian Hannamansing, and you're listening to CHMA.
And here is your CHMA Atlantic update for Monday, July the 13th. A pilot who worked in New Brunswick fighting wildfires is being remembered as a skilled professional and a patient mentor. Buffalo Airways says Robert McLeod made significant contributions to aerial firefighting across the country in a career that spanned more than 25 years. He and 2 firefighters were killed last month in a plane crash while fighting a wildfire in Northwest Territories. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada is investigating the crash and said in a recent update that the plane broke apart in midair before hitting the ground. And a professional women's hockey league goalie from New Brunswick has re-signed with the Minnesota Frost for a year. Marlena Brosino is originally from Dundee, a small community on the north side of New Brunswick. She told CBC News that it's special to be able to continue with an organization that sets itself apart from the others and has a winning record. The Frost made it to the playoffs this season, but they were eliminated in the best of 5 semifinals by the Victoire in Game 5. And police in New Brunswick say they are looking for 3 people accused of breaking into an elderly man's home and stealing his money and several war memorial artifacts. RCMP say the incident occurred in the early mornings on Thursday at a residence in Nasonworth. They say the suspects restrained the man before they robbed him. The suspects are described as 2 men and 1 woman, all tall and thin, all wearing face masks. And Melanoma Canada is bringing its mobile skin cancer screening clinic to the Maritimes. The Mole Mobile will make its first stop in the region, beginning with a visit to Halifax from July 31st until August 2nd. The Mole Mobile offers free skincare cancer screenings to underserved communities throughout Canada. The clinic has been touring since 2023, but the 2026 tour has expanded to include all 10 provinces. And a town in southeast Labrador is keeping an eye on a nearby wildfire. The town of Cartwright says on social media that the fire is about 27 kilometers away from cabins at North River. It says an official surveyed the fire by helicopter and saw no active flames. The Post says there are hotspots along the fire's eastern edge, and Parks Canada is keeping an eye on them. And finally, it was a chilly day yesterday in Newfoundland and Labrador's capital city. Meteorologist Rodney Barney says on social media that St. John saw a high of just 9.8 degrees Celsius. He says it was the first time since 2021 that the city failed to reach double-digit temperature in July. Barney says temperatures in Port aux Basques on the other side of Newfoundland reached 23.5 degrees Celsius yesterday. And that is your CHMA Atlantic update. I'll be right back with your weather.
Hi, I'm Joe with Center Village Candles, and you're listening to CHMA.
And taking a look at Environment Canada. It's, let's take a quick window check first. Big blue sky out there, some clouds. It's feeling pretty nice. It was a pretty gorgeous walk in here. It's currently observed as 20 degrees Celsius. For today, you can expect it to be mainly sunny with the wind becoming southwest 20, gusting to 40. Except 60 along parts of the coast later by this afternoon. High of 29 today, except 20 along parts of the coast. Humidex says it'll feel like 31 degrees in some places. For tonight, increased cloudiness. Showers beginning late this evening. Wind southwest 20, gusting to 40, except 60 along parts of the coast. Low of 17. For Tuesday, July the 14th, sunny in the morning and early in the afternoon, then a mix of sun and cloud with a 30% chance of showers in the afternoon. Wind southwest 20, gusting to 40 at times. High of 29, except 20 along parts of the coast. Humidex is way up there at 36 degrees. For Tuesday night, cloudy with a 6% chance of showers or thunder showers. Low of 15. And for Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud with 6% chance of showers, high 27. Clear on Wednesday night, low of 15. Mix of sun and cloud and a high of 27 on Thursday. Cloudy with a 60% chance of showers on Thursday night and a low of 12. And a mix of sun and cloud, high of 22 on Friday the 17th. Friday night, cloudy periods with a low of 11. And a mix of sun and cloud, high of 22 coming up on the weekend. Cloudy periods coming in on Saturday night with a low of 13. That is your CHMA weather update. Looks like it'll be a beautiful week with that little spot of showers coming in tomorrow. So, let's get back into the sports update, and I'll be right back with a community update after that. And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA sports update.
Yesterday over in Great Britain, Yannick Sinner won Wimbledon. He beats Alexander Zverev in 4 sets, 6-7, 7-6, 6-3, 6-4, and a face-off between the number 1 and number 2 seeds for the tournament. On the women's side on Saturday, number 9 beats number 10, Linda Naskova, over Katerina Minchkova, 6-2, 5-7, 6-3. In other world sporting competition, the final 2 teams were decided for the semifinals for the 2026 World Cup. Both took extra time, and in the early game, it was England over Norway 2-1. And in the late game, Argentina defeats Switzerland 3-1 as Switzerland's playing with 10 men during extra time. Major League Baseball is done for the All-Star break, but there were games yesterday to tell you about, including the San Diego Padres beating your Toronto Blue Jays 5-4 at home at Petco Park, meaning the Padres head into the All-Star break playing .500 baseball at 48-48. It was the Pirates. They go 10 men in a row without getting an out during the 4th inning, and they defeat the Milwaukee Brewers 14-5. It was the Orioles with the 8-2 victory over the Kansas City Royals. The Yankees defeat the Nationals in D.C. 5-3. Chicago Cubs double up the Cincinnati Reds 8-4. Took 10 innings for the Red Sox to defeat the Mets 3-2. It was an 8-2 victory for the Mariners over the Tampa Bay Rays. Detroit Tigers, they get shut out by the Philadelphia Phillies 5-0. Phillies will be hosting the All-Star game tomorrow night. Guardians defeat the Marlins 5-2. Twins double up the Angels 4-2. It was the White Sox with a 9-1 victory, meaning they're heading into the All-Star break just 1 game behind first place Cleveland Guardians in the American League Central. Cardinals lose to Atlanta 4-3 at home. It was a 1-run game where the Rangers defeat the Astros 6-5. Giants with a 3-1 victory over the Rockies. And the Arizona Diamondbacks head into the All-Star break on a winning note. They defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers in Chavez Ravine, a 5-3 final there. A couple games in the CFL for Week 6 over the weekend, beginning Friday night with the Blue Bombers defeating the Toronto Argonauts 30-21. It was the Montreal Alouettes at home with a 37-30 victory over the visiting Calgary Stampeders. And the Western Riders, Saskatchewan, moved to 4-1 on the season with a 38-7 victory over the visiting Hamilton Tiger Cats. In LPGA news, Candace Brooke Henderson, she finishes with a -19, but tied with the South Korean phenom Hairan Yu defeats Henderson in a 1-hole playoff so that she takes the championship. And men's golf yesterday, of course, is also finishing in the Scottish Open. And Kim from South Korea, he wins that, shooting a -17 over the 4 rounds of the Scottish Open, heading into the Open Championship this upcoming weekend.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary. And of course, Brian is in every weekday at 8:30 with Sumner for the summer, and usually the sports update comes on at about 8:45, sometimes even so late as 8:50. But a big thanks to Brian for coming in and doing that like nobody else can. Right now, we're going to give you some community updates, what's happening around here, and we usually do that by just visiting the Tantramar social media page. And Ron Kelly Spurls came in this morning. It is Municipal Monday, and that means that a representative from the municipality will come in at 8:30 and and sit with Brian and give an update of what you can expect this week. So if you missed it, we will have it again at 5 o'clock, and you can also catch it on our website, and that's chmafm.com, and you can just look for Municipal Monday under local shows, and we'll have a recording there. But you can also check it out later today at 5. I should have been taking notes when Ron was in, but I was getting myself over here and I did not catch it. So I don't have what Ron was talking about, but we will get that for you and make sure that we convey all the great things that are coming. But in the meantime, let's just check out quickly what they're saying on their socials to stay up to date. There is an updated public notice about the barricades that were removed from the Wheaton Covered Bridge. They are now back in place. These barricades are in place to prevent crossings as the bridge is not suitable for any use. Residents remain advised to avoid using the bridge, and that is the covered bridge that is over on the marshes that is in just closed recently, and hopefully the community will be able to get together and find some funding to keep it, but it's not a safe structure right now, so please, you're advised not to use it. And the business of the week is the Sackville Farmers Market. The business of the week is a program put together by the municipality, and it promotes and highlights the local businesses at the Visitor Information Center. They have a little table and they put a banner up. And just as a reminder, if you're not familiar, the Sackville Farmers Market is every Saturday morning, rain or shine, 9 or snow. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. is currently down at the Bill Johnstone Memorial Park here in Sackville. And in the winter times, last winter, it was up at the Civic Center. But yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful place to be. They just have another reminder that every Tuesday from 1 to 3 p.m., local artists and community members gather to sketch the place, people, and stories that make Tantramar special with the Urban Sketchers. They meet up every Tuesday, 1 to 3 p.m., as I just mentioned. So I think that is open to join, and that's why they are promoting that. For more information, you can contact Mark Fellner at markfellneraquatics@gmail.com. There you go. And that's your municipal update for now. But you should tune in again just after 5 o'clock and hear it from Ron themselves. They were in, again, as I mentioned, with Brian. Thanks to the municipality for taking the time to come up here and, get the information across to our community. We got a couple more things coming up from us here at CHMA, and then we will start with some music.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
Ready to stretch your legs? Join Active Living and Culture for a guided tour of the Tantramar Waterfowl Park, where you can explore the beautiful trails, wetlands, and wildlife that make this space so special. These tours will be ongoing daily throughout the summer. They start at the Sackville Visitor Information Center on 34 Mallard Drive and run from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Grab your sunscreen and your enthusiasm to make the most out of the heart of the marshes.
Want to learn a new skill or practice your stitching? The Tantramar Heritage Trust is putting on a cross-stitching workshop at the Bolton House Museum. This beginner-friendly workshop is a great opportunity to learn or improve on your cross-stitching techniques. Head over and enjoy a relaxing afternoon creating your own artwork. Admission is by donation and all ages are welcome and encouraged to come. Again, this event is at the Bolton House Museum at 29 Queens Road here in Sackville at 2 p.m. on July 15th.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com. And let's take a quick look at the CHMA calendar schedules to let you know about some shows that are happening. Big summer switch up. We got two new show applications that just came in last week. We're doing some training for this week, so that's super exciting because we love getting getting new shows on air. And there's a couple of more that we're just waiting to firm up on training as well. So we're midsummer, and that is, it's still a great time to get on air. And if you're listening and you always thought about getting a show or starting a podcast or anything like that, you can still get in touch anytime. We're always open. Sometimes you do some promo just to say now accepting or something like that, but we are always super excited to get voices on air. Shows coming up. Last night there was a great show from the Midget Airport Association. It was really great here in Luke again. And Sunday night was live on KXP. It was a challenging show. I'm not sure. I didn't catch the name of the group, but it was going pretty hard. But that is what makes the broadcast here at CHMA such a colorful thing. There's something for everybody. Even if you're a lover of doom, you can find a show or at least an episode that will pique your curiosity. Luca Capone had a great show last night with The Night Shift. And Maya Noel and Eva Lucas were not in for the witching hour, but stay tuned next week. Hopefully they'll be back on air. Kevin E. Stubbs also took a week break, but the Commander Show is being rethought. But there's some new artwork and some promo. I don't know if it's a new show title, but it is the Kevin E. Stubbs 5 to 6 as we've come to know Kevin E. over the past, I think, 4 years now. Yes Bye was up with Pauline and Derek, and of course the Putumayo World Show 1 and 3, making Sunday afternoons incredible. And yesterday the Bluegrass Jam with Wilson Moore was delayed by about an hour and 15 minutes, and that was mostly due to that we were off air for a little bit because we had a bit of a hiccup in the early Sunday morning. It sounds like a song that would play on Sundays, but in the early Sunday morning, the power went out. There was a power flash. We had some trouble getting back on air. It's the simple things that can really complicate things, but we were able to get the Bluegrass Jam on for 9:15, and of course you can catch that in our archive. More CHMA show news. Vincent Legier is retiring a little more Canadian, but we do have a show. Hopefully that will be replacing that at 3 on Saturdays. But Leona's Basement Music with Leona and often Chloe sounding great, and Girly So Groovy as hot as ever. And it sounded really great hearing Ashna and Sumner filling in for the Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon hours. That's a bit of a CHMA schedule update, and let's get into some music. I got some Multiplied from Luna Lee and Mitchie and Midsign with Are You Lonesome? And I'll be back in just a little bit to tell you more about those tracks.
I'm long gone, but
was a new track from Hannah Bossier Kim out of Toronto, who goes by the stage name Luna Lee. And Hannah is from Toronto, but then became prominent in the music scene from the pandemic videos that she was making at home. And she's classically trained as a violinist. Went to McGill for 1 year and decided that she wanted to be in a rock band. So according to Kim, when I first started out, I thought rock and roll is cool. The violin is not. So they ditched the violin and got into rock and roll. And that's what they do these days. And it sounds incredible. And yeah, great track. And what else can I tell you? I think next track is going to be from Mishi and Midsign with Are You Lonesome? And then we'll have Connie Calder with Wood River here on The Voice of the Marshes.
River flows, we're watching the end snow as the sky